Good day, everyone, and welcome to AVP Huntington Beach. We are courtside. I'm Rob Aspero with none other than Corinne Quiggle, superstar phenom, Pepperdine alum, and killing it courtside here in our Survival Saturday matchup here in Huntington Beach. Corinne, we have got a good one on tap, and I don't think there is going to be a bad match at all today, but I'll just say it's Tegan Van Gunst, Kim Hildreth taking on Savvy Simo and Abby Van Winkle. Your thoughts on our Contenders Day Survival Saturday matchup?
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here, and honestly, this is going to be a great game. Kim and Tegan have had a lot of success. They've been playing together for the last few years. They played together last year, and honestly have done a lot on the international tour as well as the domestic tour. And as well, Abby and Savvy are a newer team coming out, but honestly, they've played together a lot. They went to UCLA together, so they know each other really well. And I think this is going to be a game that we're going to see the ball moving around a lot, and it's going to be fun to watch and fun to track. Well,
without a doubt, there is a sense of familiarity for both these teams, not only for Tegan Van Gunst and Kim Hildreth, who've been playing a long time on AVP, but also for Abby and Savvy, as you mentioned, playing at the twos for UCLA, and they were top flights, I believe, the years that they were playing at the twos, and All-Americans.
Absolutely, and national champions, both of them.
And that's Savvy Simo starting off with a serve. Good pass off the net. Ball's dug by Van Winkle on the pull. Roll shot. Hildreth goes cross court. One hand stab by Simo. She goes deep corner. Covering is Hildreth, covered by Simo. Deep back, and Simo wins it out. A mega rally to start off our first point.
I mean, if there's one thing that I can say, I think we're going to have a lot of rallies. Both of these defenders are great defenders. Kim keeps a lot off the sand. Savvy is so fast back there, so we're going to see a lot of these.
Well, I'm already winded from that first rally as Simo goes back to serve. Simo goes shallow over towards Van Gunst. Van Gunst knuckles that she's denied by Van Winkle, and that's something we see a lot of with Abby at the net.
Yeah, and you know, Savvy and Abby, they are a newer team, but they've already had success. You know, they're no strangers to success. They just got a gold in Veradero, the Norseca, recently as their first. I think that was Abby's first Norseca. So, yeah, we have a lot of high hopes for this team.
Ball's passed by Van Gunst. High ball in the middle and knuckling it wide. And looking for a call from our R1, that's Kirsten Brosnick. Unfortunately, touches nothing. That's point number 3 for Van Winkle and Simo. Simo listed at 5'11" from San Diego, California, but a fiery competitor behind the block. Chopping across courts, Tegan Van Gunst. Good-looking ball over there.
Yeah, again, we've seen them now starting to push wide. This is their first back set, but we're going to see them moving the ball quite a bit. I like that style that Kim and Tegan bring.
You can't see it on the broadcast, but the flag is blowing from a north to south direction on the coast here. At what point will that become an issue?
Yeah, the wind hasn't picked up too much right now. We'll see how it goes later in the day, but definitely I think the side that Savvy and Abby is on right now is slightly the better side.
Van Winkle, as you see, wiping it down the line off the block. And we've got a 4-1 count here on court number 1 here on Survival Saturday of our AVP Huntington Beach. Truly an honor to be down on the sand with Corinne Quiggle, doing some great stuff up until her bionic leg replacement.
It wasn't a full replacement.
Darn,
yeah.
I just wanted to sell that as like you're going to become this mega soldier on the sand.
But I will come back better, no worries there. And they even said I might have a little bit more mobility, so I'm very excited for that. Maybe I'll finally be able to squat, deep squat.
I think you at 10% mobility is me at 100%. So Van Winkle back to serve up 5-1, goes over towards Hildreth. Van Gunst on the attack error. Kind of misjudged that ball on the jump. It was such a low pass and serve receive. First side switch with a 6-1 lead for the team of Abby Van Winkle and Savvy Simo. But what should we look for here in this Survival Saturday matchup?
Yeah, it's interesting. So they've started out serving Tegan, which I think they want to avoid. When people are serving Kim, Tegan definitely is opening up her option balls, and then Kim is just running routes side to side. So it's interesting to see if they'll stick on her throughout the whole play. I mean, they're getting great success off of it. And we haven't seen a lot of Kim and Tegan on defense yet because they've been stuck in this serve receive.
Well, we got distracted. Betsy Flint floating around us here on the broadcast. Just had to give her a shout out. She's been competing well here on the sand. Great community of volleyball players here in Huntington Beach, and we didn't expect anything less because everyone's just anticipating the first event of the AVP season.
Yeah, everybody's been prepping this long off season for it, so people are coming out here. This is a great opportunity for us to compete, and everybody's been waiting for this.
See Abby Van Winkle hit that one into the net. You don't see that too often because she's a pretty efficient attacker. We've got 3 looking at 6. A little brief pause there as you hear them communicating on the court here in Huntington Beach. Spin serve. Simo gets behind it. Simo on the attack, and she says, no problem. She'll take a full speed swing.
Interesting, getting 1 point off of Abby and then turning it on to Savvy, testing her down the line.
Van Gunst putting up a good block, but Simo's vision able to see that hole. 7 serving to 3. Simo floats deep. Hildreth hand sets right side. Van Gunst off the block, and Abby on the turn, unable to control it.
Great turn by Abby, though. That is a tough ball to get, especially when you get that touch off the block, to be able to turn and get that ball past the 10-foot line.
I know you've been playing AVP for a while now, Corinne, but I think you're part of, you were the spearhead of that new wave of collegiate beach volleyball players that came in and have been really successful.
Yeah, collegiate beach volleyball has grown our sport on the women's side so much, and it's so fun to see even the girls coming in, the younger girls that are not even in school. Kennedy Coxley that was in the qualifier this past weekend. I mean, there's so much talent, and it is so deep, and they're so young. So we have a lot to expect later down the road with USA volleyball athletes. It's going to be great.
8 serving to 4. You're looking at Abby Van Winkle at the service line. Abby's got 2 kills and a block as well as a dig on their side. Ball's picked up by Simo. Simo looking, and she goes cross court on the scorch. Simo always known for fast feet as long as I can remember, even back in the high school days at Torrey Pines.
Yeah, nice ball moving them. Kim and Tegan kind of got both stuck in the line there, and Savvy saw it and was able to take that angle.
That brings Van Winkle back to serve. 9 serving to 4 here in set number 1. Third match on the court 1 stream here at AVP Huntington Beach. Great knuckle poke winner for Van Gunst on the switch at 9-5. What are we seeing here so far? It seems like there's been a little hesitation on the Van Gunst Hildreth side so far, but they're finding their feet. But what adjustments are they making?
Yeah, so I think first game of the day, a lot of times you want to let the game develop a little bit. They started off a little slow, but they were still moving the ball and still doing good things, just weren't converting to points. So it'll be interesting to see once they can get their rhythm. I mean, still trying to find it here as she misses that serve.
Van Gunst from Fayetteville, Georgia, now lives in Santa Ana, right down the 55, down PCH here from Huntington Beach, as Simo goes towards the hybrid. Pass by Hildreth. Hildreth looks, shoots, and cross-court winner. Beautiful execution of that little spinner.
Yeah, this early in the game, too, Savvy is being very good on her defense. She's already got 4 digs, hitting 800. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Savvy Simo. Actually on the serve at Hildreth goes towards Van Winkle. Van Winkle chops it down the line. Took a little off it. I guess she didn't need to go full speed on that one, but gets the point. Van Winkle, 6'2", from San Clemente, California. Played indoor ball at Santa Margarita High School with a championship-bound team and decided to pull off the indoor team.
Well, she's had great success on the beach, so.
And for obvious reasons, here in Huntington Beach, playing in the main draw in front of a ton of family that are down here and watching online, I'm sure. Simo off the dig, Simo on the attack, and she goes cross-body on the winner. Point going towards the team of Simo. Van Winkle up 12-6.
Yeah, they seem in a really good rhythm right now. They're doing a lot of good things. Things are falling their way.
Now, on the service perspective, it's nothing too complex, but they're still tough. I mean, no one's really hitting a high velocity spin serve, but if anything, they're serving a lot of moving balls.
Yeah, and I see them. Ooh, what a slide from Savvy Simo.
Slide, slip, and slide on the beach. Timeouts taken by the team of Tegan Van Gunst and Kim Hildreth, trailing 13-6. But again, the serve, although that was a tough serve, perfect pass by Savvy, and being able to run that play.
Yeah, so it looks like they're moving them placement rather than, bringing that power behind their serves, but it's working really well. I mean, they're serving the middle, they're getting Tegan short, that one hit the net. They're putting a lot of pressure just by the movement on the serve receive.
Mm-hmm. So as we are down here in Huntington Beach, and we're going to say this quite throughout the day, but this is the first of 3 Heritage Series that will qualify these teams for the league events towards the end of the season. Basically, you get an auto berth if you win the AVP Huntington, and what the league series is, this is a new format, 8 competition, the 9th being a championship match. The 3 teams that win these events in Huntington Beach, Chicago, and Manhattan Beach get the auto berth in. The next 5 scoring teams, highest scoring teams, will be chosen to represent a city in a draft of players on the AVP, which, I mean, curious as to your thoughts as an athlete, still kind of in it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good for the sport. I'm really excited about the league, and I know I've been talking to the athletes all year about it, and everybody is gunning for the league. Like, that is the main goal for a lot of these athletes this year, is people want to be able to compete in this league. They know it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be pushed a lot. That's the end goal for this season.
Out of the timeout, you got Van Winkle serving tough over towards Van Gunst. Van Gunst looks down the line, dug by Simo, but goes up and out of play. A lot of heat on that attack by Tegan. Seeing Tegan over the years and seeing players develop, what do you see as a characteristic of Tegan and Kim here? Yeah,
so Tegan and Kim, I said earlier, they like to run the balls faster, lower tempo, out to the pins. They like to move the ball around. So it does make the job harder for the blocker on the other side. I think Abby's doing a great job right now tracking both of them. And they're putting them out of system on the passing, so they're not able to set up their offense like they want to.
No look, back bum set, and thumped by Abby Van Winkle, 14-7 at the technical timeout. So we have extended time to talk about Corinne and what she's seeing here from the league perspective, or the athlete perspective of this upcoming league.
Yeah, like I said before, people are really looking forward to it. I mean, even end of last year when we were talking, when it was just coming out that it was going to be this format, people were excited about this because we want the AVP to grow. All the athletes are really excited that we'll have these set locations that are support systems behind us and that we get to represent a specific place. A lot of times it's just us two and people pick a team because they like a player and all that, but I really like the idea of getting behind a city and growing that aspect of it all around the US, because it is growing all around the US.
And it's kind of cool that you get to root for an actual pair of teams, a men's and women's team that will represent a city, and that's going to be their team, but to get behind that team and root them on, I mean, brings it back to the old collegiate duel days, doesn't it?
I know, it does. I was saying that as soon as I saw it. I was like, it's worked so well on the college side. I really think that it could work well on the professional side as well.
Teams are making their way back out onto the sand here in AVP Huntington Beach, the inaugural event for the 2024 season. And a lot of good action through the qualifiers through day one yesterday, which brings us to our Survival Saturday matchup here on court one between Savvy Simo and Abby Van Winkle. They're facing Kim Hildreth and Tegan Van Gunst, the 14-7 out of the first technical timeout.
And let's not forget, Savvy and Abby also had to fight their way through the qualifier this tournament. I know. Although they're doing fantastically in this tournament. But yeah, they went through the qualifier. I don't think they even dropped a set.
There was that, well, for lack of a better term, that was a gnarly qualifier on the women's side.
It was.
There was only one upset, though, which I was shocked. But, I mean, you look at the scores, it's a lot tighter than what it's made out to be when you look at the numbers. Got service error, point going to Simo and Van Winkle, 15-8. Van Winkle from a very talented volleyball family. His sister Tessa just graduated from UCLA on the national championship match bound Bruins this last season. Going on the 2-ball, Hildreth dug by Simo. Simo goes a wrist away but misses wide.
It looks like just by a finger or so.
You're looking at Kirsten Bostic having the discussion with Savvy Simo trying to make the pitch. I don't know, I saw that line bounce.
We'll always argue for it. If it's close, you know, we're going to talk.
We got Renee Marcellus as our R2 if you're looking on our live stream on YouTube, courtesy of, or complimentary courtesy of the AVP, and that service goes into the net.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big thing. If Tegan and Kim can start getting their serves going. Right now they've had a few service errors. They haven't had a chance to earn a lot of points on defense.
I'm checking the stats service error-wise. 3 service errors for Van Gunst and Hildreth. That's 3 free points. We're only at point 16 for the leader. Jump set juice, and Van Gunst puts a little Tabasco on it.
That was a beautiful play. I love that push set, especially while she's jump setting and making Abby just think about it. Just think maybe she's going to go over on 2.
You stall the blocker for a microsecond, makes a huge difference. And Van Winkle denied by Van Gunst as she camps out and presses over. 11 looking at 16. Beautiful block by Van Gunst, just waiting for that 2-ball. Hildreth, little spin serve, drops shallow, picked up by Simo. Simo goes wrist away on a great executed play. 17-11 on the switch.
Yeah, that was a great approach by Savvy, making Kim hold in that angle and opening up her line there.
As they switch sides here in set number 1. Again, this is match number 3 here on court number 1. Will be here all day in AVP Huntington Beach. Flipping between myself, Corinne Quiggle, and Vic Dennis because it's going fast here. The action is intense. We just came off a 3-setter that was high action, as you see Hildreth go off the block, dug by Simo. Free ball up and over by Van Winkle. Van Gunst picks it up, and going against the grain on the knuckler, Kim Hildreth.
For a second, I thought she was going to set it over, but I knew that she wasn't facing, so I was excited to see how that one turned out. But smart pokey there.
How fast she's coming in off that dig. I think her momentum would have taken her into the net had she tried, but smart play. Tough serve by Van Gunst, picked up by Simo. Simo down the line, gator dig by Van Gunst, but it goes the wrong direction out of play.
But I love that aggression on that serve. I like that side spin serve. It made Abby move. It gave them a good opportunity on defense.
Crowd liking what they're seeing here as Simo steps back to serve. Simo, 10 kills, hitting 700 for the match already. Floats it deep over towards Van Gunst. Hildreth hand sets to the left pin, roll shot, beautiful cutty.
Great vision by Tegan there.
It's looking like Van Gunst has great range because she can definitely bring the heater, but the placement on her rolls have been just great to see.
Yeah, Kim and Tegan both have really good ball control skills. I mean, everybody on this court is a really good ball control player.
Simo just goes cross body on the textbook attack. Point, making it 19-13 as they're edging towards the conclusion of our first set. Van Winkle, supposed to be in nursing school, decided maybe I'll play in some Norsecas and some tournaments.
I'll hold off for a second, you know. Beach volleyball's too fun.
Van Winkle looks, goes tough serve down the line over towards Van Gunst. Hildreth hand sets. And jumping and thumping, going to the heater is Tegan Van Gunst.
Yeah, what a set, falling to her knees, too.
It's not for added drama. It's for precision.
It's really not. It's to make sure you're finishing that ball right to it.
Had a clean release, no rotation, and right to the spot. Shallow serve picked up by Van Winkle, set by Simo. Roll shot down the line, in, out.
It tagged it. Yeah, tagged the line.
Well, if you're watching us courtside, you can see us. You got Corinne sitting on this high chair, and I'm on this low chair, and I'm already a, we'll say, vertically challenged person. Got set point serving a 14 for Simo Van Winkle. Van Gunst cross body cut dug by Simo. Simo takes a rip, and set number 1 goes to Savvy Simo and Abby Van Winkle. They take it 21-14. Go up 1-0 here in our elimination match. So Corinne, as the team of Tegan Van Gunst and Kim Hildreth go back to their seats, what do you do adjustment-wise here?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. I think the biggest thing that they've found into was their serve receive. I mean, if they can control that pass, get themselves into a good position, find the open of the court, you know, they can keep it simpler if they're not able to run those fast, quick plays and those jump sets. As well as, I'd love to see them serve aggressive, and, you know, they made a few service errors. I still think they ended up with 3 service errors, but with 0 aces, I would want them to find a little bit more rhythm back there.
Yeah, they had 3 total service errors, but again, on the other side of that, Savvy and Abby, 0 service errors. So that's 3 free points for the other side. But even then, it just seems like they're still trying to find their rhythm. And towards the end, we were seeing a lot more hard-to-hit balls and them executing defense.
Exactly. I would also love to see both teams. I mean, Savvy just did a great job to finish off that match staying aggressive. I love it when defenders come in and stay aggressive and, you know, are able to convert those into points. And I think that's something that we can look for from Kim and Tegan's side as well.
Well, that brief break intermission is come to an end here as the first team back out on the sand is Savvy and Abby. Up 1-0 in a very, we'll say a very busy Huntington Beach on the sand here. You've got 2 other major events going on. You have the NSA surf competition in the south of the pier and this massive baptism going on over towards Beach Boulevard. That's got a rock star stage and all these tents. And of course, you got the normal tourism happening up and down the boardwalk here.
Yeah, a lot of people stopping by today at the AVP Huntington Beach.
We're getting ready to start our second set. You've got Kim Hildreth back to serve, trailing 1-0. They're going deep over towards Van Winkle. Van Winkle swings away, and Van Gunst with a return package.
That's the way to start the second set. With a great block, great lineup by Tegan, and just shutting Abby down right away.
Yeah, nothing funky there. She just lined up and jumped. No fake, hey, I'm going to jump line and press into the angle.
Yeah, sometimes keeping it simple is the best thing that you can do.
Hildreth tough serve deep to Van Winkle. Simo sets to the left pin, high line in anticipation is Hildreth. Hildreth looks, shoots, and wins 2-0.
Yeah, what a great shot out of the middle as Abby's pulling. It's really hard to get back to that line, especially her sideline on that ball. So that's great spot by Kim.
I wonder what they're seeing where they're changing it up, serving Abby here in set number 2.
I mean, Savvy was hitting phenomenally and siding out incredibly well. So it's definitely, it's not a bad option to go to both there.
Van Winkle drops that shot down the line as they get on the board, 1 looking at 2. Simo steps back to serve, 10 kills, hitting 750, only 1 attack error. So you're right, Simo. Well, of course you're right. You're the athlete and you see what's going on out here.
Well, all of these athletes are incredibly talented, but you know what? We're all humans still. And we're going to make errors here and there. And so you know when somebody's having a good day, maybe you want to try the other person out.
Torching it up top is Tegan Van Gunst, turning up the heat on that attack. Little step close blast for Van Gunst makes it 3-1. Van Gunst listed at 6 foot. Played ball at Georgia Tech and Georgia State. Rising beach program over there.
Yeah, I used to play with her twin.
That's right. So who's the better twin? Can I ask that question?
I mean, honestly, when I played them, they were really hard to tell apart. But only Tegan's playing now.
So for all I know, you could have been playing with a sister the whole time.
Honestly, I don't know if I would have been able to tell.
You know, I asked the McNamara twins back in the day, I'm like, do you guys ever step into each other's classes and take tests? They wouldn't comment.
Smart. They don't want to be on camera or anything having that.
Van Gunst squeezes it by the block for the winner. 4-2 our score in our second set. Trying to push a third set tiebreak are Kim Hildreth and Tegan Van Gunst, dropping the first 21-14.
Yeah, much better start to this set than the last. Getting a little bit more comfortable in this game.
Pulling from the net was Van Gunst, wisely so off the Van Winkle shot, and jumbo number 2 for the day in match number 3 on court 1.
Perfectly over Savvy. I mean, that's a great shot. Those are not easy to do or to have done well, you know?
Yep.
Those are not easily executed.
It's almost like Van Winkle got caught in the neutral zone there. She was going to stay and then pull and just didn't decide in time.
I actually think that was a great read by her. She saw that the hitter was coming in a little bit slower and decided to wait and pull for the short ball around her.
And that's why we have Corinne here talking about the mechanics and the strategy. But there's the blocking these days. They're bringing in all these different techniques, like this faux step and then stand and.
Yeah, a lot of faking, a lot of show and take. We were seeing these blockers do a really good job on it, but sometimes all you need is just to be straight up and down. And
going back to basics, so to speak.
Yep.
Great pickup by Van Winkle, and Simo finds the empty real estate. You gotta love it when the blocker gets dirty on defense, because usually they're the cleaner ones of the two.
For sure. I love that. When my blocker is just as dirty as I am, I'm like, we've done our jobs.
And like that, Simo and Van Winkle within 1 at 4, looking at 5 on the outstanding effort on that last play. But it seems like Kim and Tegan have found their groove here in the second set. Savvy Simo back to serve. The former national champion from UCLA goes into the net. Service error, making it 6-4. Van Gunst has been playing really well so far in the second set. Float serve misses long. Point going to the side. 5 looking at 6.
Yeah, not as many rallies so far in this game. A lot of first ball kills here.
Van Winkle, tough serve, hybrid pass by Hildreth, and unfazed by the tough serve was Tegan Van Gunst.
Now, you know, and we've seen that a lot actually from Abby and Savvy. A lot of 4s, a lot of 2s. They're blocking her angle, and Savvy is really ready to protect that line.
We'll see if they stick to the serve Abby strategy, and they are. She goes deep over the angle set by Simo, and Van Winkle with an off-speed roll.
It's a great high reach by Abby there.
And on both these sides, you can see they're very comfortable playing with their partners. It's like they're not fazed by anything. It seems like they're just kind of like mama mentality, just straight look and play to win.
Very focused here by both of them, but they are moving well together for sure, both teams.
Hildreth passes off the net, tight set, knuckle joust, and we got a net violation called against Hildreth with no argument. I mean, it had to be such a small touch because I didn't see the net move.
Yeah, and I like that play on that serve. So they pushed Kim all the way back to the end line, and then she has to make her way all the way up. And Tegan gave a good set, but it is hard, you know, running from the end line, going up to stay out of the net and be able to get your feet to that ball.
Yeah, because you have to shut your momentum down or turn it in the upwards direction on your jump.
Right.
6 looking at 8 after the side switch. Savvy Simo at the service line, leading 1-0 here in our elimination match. Simo looks, floats it over towards Hildreth. Hildreth, tight set, goes into the antenna. That ball drifted, it seemed like, but the wind's going the other direction.
Yes, that ball looked a little bit more like one of those indoor sets where they're pushing it to a location, but it just went a little far and into the antenna.
We're making sure the score is correct, and they've confirmed 7-8 here courtside. The R2 coming over towards the official stats. And looks like we're back into play as Simo steps back. Hybrid goes shallow over towards Hildreth, and double contact on Van Gunst as he quickly looks at Kirsten Bosnick.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a conversation about that one. That one seemed like she went over the ball a little bit more, which they don't always call. You know, it depends on the ref, depends on the day, honestly. But really, I don't know if that's as much of a double as going over the ball. She's explaining it right now.
Over and indoor, they're going to allow the doubles now, as long as it doesn't go over the net, pretty much.
So funny to see how beach volleyball's gone the complete opposite direction, internationally at least, and indoors gone away with doubles altogether.
And you had a team of Savvy, Simo, Abby Van Winkle up 9-8. Shooting it cross body is Hildreth, picked up by Simo on the anticipation play. Blocked at the net by Van Gunst, right side to Simo. Knuckle over on one. Smart play by Kim Hildreth.
I like the try of Savvy moving the ball to the left, moving the ball to the right, but it did give Kim that open court in the back there for her to just send that one over and get that point in the deep corner.
That's great vision. We're seeing that a lot more in the game now, the option on 1 and 2, which means that defender can just pop it over on one in a deep corner.
The Laura Ludwig.
Add to the kill column, right? 8-9, a tough serve pass by Van Winkle. She goes to the backside off the back bump set, and Van Winkle delivers. And usually it's panic ball on a broken place. Has a tough serve, and Van Winkle can get a good pass on it.
Yeah, Abby's got such a high reach that high line shot is so fast, and it's hard to get to as a defender.
10 serving at 8. Van Winkle and Simo trying to close it down in straight set sweep, but Van Gunst says, I'm going to keep knocking that corner.
Yeah, that was a great fake by Tegan there. Savvy took that step into the angle. Tegan kind of saw it, poked it right into the other side.
Kim Hildreth back to serve, trailing 9-10 here in the AVP Huntington Beach. Van Winkle tight pass and net violation called on Simo as her momentum takes her into the net on the tight pass.
And that ties us up at 10-10 here.
I guess, can we have extended ball here? In our first women's match here on court number 1 for the day. Still have 5 more, I believe. Van Winkle swings hard. Van Gunst there on the block. Simo looks, shoots down the line. Hildreth there picks it up. Hildreth goes cross court, and a diving Savvy Simo unable to control it, going thumb down on the winner, and we got 11-10 at the technical timeout.
Yeah, and that was a great turn and set by Tegan to give Kim that perfect set right on the net, and Kim took well advantage of that to take it to the tech.
So, Corinne, I've got to ask you, do you miss playing?
Oh, of course I do.
I know, last time I saw you, October 2023 at the Laguna Open. Great result for you and Sarah.
Yeah. We won, so we'll take that as a great result for sure. But, you know, our season didn't stop there. We kept going, went to the Pan American Games right after that, and then finished with 3 international events. Obviously, that's kind of the same time where I got injured, kind of figuring out how to go about it and what my next steps were.
So what's your timeline here of getting back into playing then?
Well, I'm officially 2 weeks out from surgery, but we'll see. I should be out in the sand around 3 to 4 months, and hopefully back pretty soon.
Excellent. We'll look forward to having you back out here competing on the AVP.
Trust me, I'm looking forward to it too. But I'm so happy to be here, still involved, and being able to commentate. This is so fun.
Well, let's talk about the volleyball community here. I mean, the first event of the year, there's a huge excitement with all the athletes, the fans, the officials. I mean, everyone that's involved. But you know, from your standpoint, what are you seeing here at AVP Huntington that sticks out the most?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's the first event. Everybody's super excited about it. Everybody's been training and like leading their off season up to this event. So I think everybody's just looking forward to it. I see everybody's out. International people come home. Like we've got Melissa and Brandy that are competing. We've got a lot of teams that have stayed to compete because everyone wants to be a part of this league that's going to be after the Olympics and later in this fall.
Well, there definitely is an electric excitement about it, as we are now tied up at 11s. And I think Vic said in the early broadcast you have 3 countries represented here. I'm like, just 3?
I know. I think that's Brazil, Canada, and the U.S.
Well, I mean, technically DJ in the last match is Serbia.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Well, Alex, he's Austrian.
Yeah, he's not competing yet, but he will be. Keep an eye on him for coming out on the
Alex
tour.
Harthaler, former outside hitter at Pepperdine. Simo floats it into the seam, picked up by Van Gunst. Van Gunst looks, rolls over the block of Van Winkle, and great placement shot because I think Van Winkle has got that move perfected where she lands, turns, and digs.
Yeah, that is. She's making a great move there, but Tegan is timing that perfectly with her jump. She's going right at the time that Abby is having to come down. So really good timing by her. If it was any higher at all, I think Abby would have that ball.
Yeah. Van Gunst, tough serve down the line towards Van Winkle. Bumps that by Simo, and Van Winkle knocks it wide.
Just a smidge wide, I think. Wow.
13-12 for Tegan and Kim.
Again, those are the ones that you're disappointed at, but it was the right play. She made the right move there.
Van Winkle, good pass. Simo goes off speed, wrist away. And we haven't really seen a full swing by Van Winkle.
Yeah, Abby's coming in and doing a lot to the line and to the angle and seeing where Kim is going. So we'll be interested to see if she brings that power a little bit later in the game. We know she has it.
Yeah,
we know she has it.
Float serve, floats high over towards Van Gunst, set by Hildreth, and roll shot goes into the net. Seems like it's more of a fadeaway as Van Gunst is falling back on that set.
Yeah, and I think Savvy was over that ball as well. She was making her move to that cut shot.
Van Winkle gets the whistle from Bosnick, our R1. Hybrid down the line towards Van Gunst. Hildreth jump set outside of Van Gunst and chops it down the line. A little side spin on that attack.
I didn't know what the score was.
On the side switch, are tied at 14 all. You're looking at the defenders on both sides. I can tell who's working the hardest. Just look at Kim Hildreth's knees down.
For sure. Honestly, both of these defenders are going to be running around the court all day. We have 10 digs for Savvy, and I think 4 right now for Hildreth, but they are still moving a ton.
Hildreth, tough serve over towards Simo. Simo rolls it down the line. Hildreth there on the pickup. Hildreth looks, goes cross court. Simo there on the dig, and Simo rolls it line, and defender rally going on right now. Hildreth rolls it, dug by Van Winkle, knuckle poke, misses long. That's our extended rally of the day. All that to go up 15-14.
It's hard to get a point sometimes out here. But no, definitely these defenders showcasing their skills back there.
They're padding their dig stat right now.
Kim was like, wait, I only have 4? I need at least 2 more in this next play.
Van Winkle in the high option. Hildreth with another dig. Hildreth looks, and she's blocked at the net, covered by Van Gunst, and the ball almost makes it over. Great effort on Van Gunst and Hildreth.
Those are great touches by both of them for sure. I thought that they were going to maybe get the trickle over, but it stayed on their side.
Well, that's the corn dog rally of the day, because both Van Gunst and Hildreth are just covered in sand. Yep, that's the term from my younger years, being corn dog.
We had the churro in college.
But then Gina Urango stole it and made it Chirango.
Chirango. I like it.
15 all in the second set. Hildreth tight pass and option ball by Van Gunst finds the sand. Van Gunst wisely knocking it over in that deep area 1 corner.
Yeah, great spot for there. Just on the outside of Savvy there, making her move outside of her body.
16 serving to 15 here in set number 2. Kim and Tegan trying to force that third set tiebreak. After dropping the first 21-14, Simo goes deep corner, and Hildreth almost getting the chicken wing dig.
I love that swing from Savvy. That is such a hard swing to defend for a blocker or a defender, because it's coming almost at your head into the deep corner.
Well, it's that famous hypotenuse, the longest area of the court from that right angle to that deep right back corner. Float serve towards Hildreth. Van Gunst goes back on a little shake and bake play, picked up by Simo, set to the left pin. Simo takes a rip and plays pinball off the block. An advantage, Abby and Savvy.
Great high swing there. I love her using her hands, Tegan's hands up there, because she is a little pinned at the pin there. It's Tegan's hands, the pin, or she's just got to go high on him.
Van Winkle deep line. They're switching it up now, going towards Hildreth. And a right side attack goes into the net for the 18-16 lead. It might be time for a timeout here.
I was about to say the same thing.
And we do have a timeout taken by Tegan and Kim, trailing in the second set, 18-16, and the match 1-0. Corinne, as you go into this timeout, what are you telling if you're the team of Kim and Tegan?
Yeah, it looks like they just, couldn't get a few over, Abby and Savvy are doing good things right now, so I think they want to keep it simple again on their side. They don't want to have to do anything special, try to slow down the game on their side and really just focus on this first side out, because 17-18 is a good switch.
Well, as we are hanging out here in Huntington Beach for the inaugural AVP event of the year, I'm Robin Sparrow with Corinne Quiggle. Totally honored to sit next to you and work the match. I've always wondered how it'd be like to work with a current athlete on the sand.
Yeah, it's exciting, and it's really fun to watch for me as well. Usually when I'm watching, I'm scouting. So
okay, let's be real, you're scouting too.
Yeah, at the same time, this is all still great for me. Taking notes, But it's really fun to watch and see it from this side and see how great you guys are at what you guys do. So it's fun to be on this side of the court, I guess, for now.
She's buttering me up now, so I've got to say only nice things on broadcast and MC host mics on the sand. But we've got great athletes and personalities, and I've only seen that, at every single event, every interaction I've had with everyone here, really. But the athletes, I don't think our fans really get to see what's going on unless they're super active on social or really, we'll just say, outgoing on the court. But there's a really great cast of people on the AVP.
There are, and especially even on this court, every single person here has their story, and they're phenomenal athletes, showcasing.
And there's Corinne's favorite side switch, the crunch time at 18-17. But, speaking with Bobby Corvino or Robert Corvino, LinkedIn, he has his formal name, but Bobby's the COO of AVP this year, and he has a great vision. The heritage events to the contender events to the league events, and he's really excited what could happen, the potential of the league event at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think all the athletes are excited for the potential that it has. Again, like I've said before, everybody's gunning for the league, so that's going to be the big deciding factor. What a swing by Savvy right there.
Savvy going to the left hand, picked up by Kim. Kim rolls it high line, pulling is Van Winkle. Abby now on the off-speed swing, going off the block, and she credits Sammy because she's doing all the legwork.
Phenomenal set, too, by Savvy. But again, like I said, that is not an easy ball to hit. So good on Abby to be able to get her feet there, keep everything in, keep a high contact, let it cross over her body. That is really impressive.
What we're seeing more of is super athletic bigs or blockers in the game now. They've got so much range, mobility, and movement that the game is getting so technical but physical at the same time.
Definitely.
Ball dug by Simo, saved by Van Winkle. Left-hand shot again, and I'm not quite sure Savvy had mastered that left-hand shot because after that left her hand, I was like, ooh.
But it tagged the line, and lines are good. So.
And that brings us to match point for Abby and Savvy to 17 here in set number 2. A little stall technique there, counting the sand again, looking at the watch.
Yeah, making her think about where she wants to serve this ball.
Good pass by Van Gunst. Van Gunst cuts it off the block and out of play. 18 serving to match point number 2.
Good confident side out by her. Can they get these 2 points here to tie it up?
Van Gunst goes down the line to Van Winkle. Tough serve. Picked up by Van Winkle. Van Winkle, wrist away winner for point, set, and match as a team of Savvy Simo and Abby Van Winkle defeat the team of Tegan Van Gunst and Kim Hildreth. 2 sets to 0, 21-14, 21-18. With that finish, the team of Van Gunst and Hildreth finished AVP Huntington 13th place. But I want to ask Corinne, if you had to pick a player of the match, who would that be?
Oh, that's tough. Honestly, I think I think Savvy played phenomenally in the backcourt. I mean, she had a great hitting percentage, but also Abby was doing a great job at the net, funneling things to her. So it's really hard for me to pick between that. I can't pick one, but honestly, the steadiness that they showed just then, I think, is really impressive, and I think we'll see a lot more from them even today.
Savvy Simo, I'll go ahead and take a stab at it, but she had a great performance. Strong out of the first set, and you could see that she was confident in her swinging. But in the second set, you saw more of Abby Van Winkle really pick up her game. But Savvy, again, getting good sets in transition on broken plays. Gotta love the bigs when they can really represent.
I know. Fantastic game by both of them and their coach, Dan Wayner.
And with that, we've got another one coming up on the hour, as close to the hour as possible. Stick with us here. We got Jaden Whitmarsh and Devin Newberry winning their first Survival Saturday match of the day, facing Julia Scholes and Betsy Flint. I'm Rob Aspero with Corinne Quiggle. We'll be back on in a few. Thanks for joining us here on the AVP Huntington Beach. Visit avp.com for bracket scores, and jump over to the YouTube channel to catch a live stream complimentary of the AVP.
All you do the first time I guess. Alex, I was like,